Hello guys, welcome back. My name is Arpit Shah and today I'm going to talk about what are the different class types in Java. So let's quickly run through what is class and what is object in Java, and then I will explain to you about different classes. So class is basically just a blueprint. So anything you want performed as an action, you first define a class, and then object is the copy of the class that performs the action for you when required. Now that object could be storing data, could be transforming things from one type to other. You can make it do anything you like, but that would never use the original code. It will take the copy of the code and then run it as an action. So now you know quick rundown of class and objects. We can proceed to explain what each class types is in Java. Now if you want to know more about class and objects, there is a tutorial that I have made which is specifically just explaining classes and objects, so please watch that. Now let me show you how many different type of common classes available in Java. So there are 9 types that are commonly known. So they are wrapper class, mutable, immutable classes. They are abstract class, final class, anonymous, input output class, string class, system class, and network class. Now classes can be defined in a different areas as well. So if you define it from the access modifier point of view, there could be definition of private class, public class, protected, and the default. And if you recognize them from their inheritance point of view, then you can also define classes into category of superclass or a subclass. But we are not going to go into access modifier or inheritance types today. I'm just going to explain to you the class itself and what are the different name means. So in this session, I will explain to you what is the wrapper class and how they are used. Now wrapper class, as name suggests, it wraps something into object for Java point of view. Now let's understand why the need for wrapper class arises in the first place. So as you all are aware that Java is object-oriented language, but if you actually know that Java is not truly object-oriented language, that means not everything in Java is an object, and that is done for maybe right reasons. So one example of that is Java do support 8 primitive types. So primitive types means the very basic type of variables that are not actually an object. So I have listed all 8 of them on the screen. So they are boolean, character, byte, short, integer, long, float, and double. Now Java supports primitive types for maybe efficiency reason, because you store items as an object, it holds more space. So Java has chosen to keep those 8 primitive types. But at the same time, if you would like to use Java generics, or let's say for example if you want to create an array list of integer or hash map, now you can't create that using the primitive types, because those generics needs an object, and if you have created your variables as primitive type, then how do you store it? Now another problem you also face in object oriented language, your object could be sometime null. Now if you have stored all your variables as in primitive types, it won't accept value as null in some cases. So then how do you go about that? So that's why Java has created a wrapper classes. So all Java has a native support for wrapper classes, at least all the new ones. So as you can see, I have listed the name of the wrapper classes which relates to their related primitive types. So their naming convention has been kept very similar, so you don't have to look harder. It's a boolean is called boolean with B capital, and character is with character with C capital. So it's a same name. Now, what is important that you understand how primitive types are converted into objects using wrapper classes. So let me show you an example. So when you want to use wrapper classes, so there are two concepts here, right? There is autoboxing and there is unboxing. Now, autoboxing is a compiler automatically boxes the primitive type into object for you. And unboxing is basically object is converted into a primitive type by compiler on your request. So let me show you an example so you understand what I'm talking about here. So let's say I create a variable and assign value 10. So integer a equals 10. Now if I want to, let's say, create an object of an integer, I can create an object integer and let's call it b. And one way to convert it, you can just say integer dot value of, and then you can pass your integer, which is in our case it's a. So I have passed the primitive type integer a to this function which converts primitive type into object. So then we will store it as a b. And so this is called force boxing, right? So we are actually telling compiler what to do. Now we can do exactly same thing by creating variable c and we just assign a to it. So what compiler does in this case, it will realize that you are trying to convert a primitive type into an object. So it will do it at the compile time for you. So this is called autoboxing. So the compiler is doing all the job for you, so you don't have to worry about it. So this is called autoboxing. Now let me print out all these values so you can see that they all actually doing the same thing here. But let's try again. So if I print out a here or b or c, and if I execute this program, you can see that they all value of 10. So that means they all been doing exactly same thing. Obviously by looking at the output you can't see if they are object or not, but you got the concept of wrapper classes, right? Now to unbox it, you can exercise exactly same thing. So you can create a variable d, let's say, and assign c to it. And if I print variable d now, so again this is called unboxing. So Java compiler, at the compile time, it would know that you are trying to convert object into primitive types and it will do that for you. So you will see that even d is 10, right? So this is how the wrapper classes work. They convert primitive types into object and object types into primitive. And also I have just taken you through the concept called autoboxing and unboxing. So hopefully you guys know how to use wrapper classes. Now writing wrapper class, I mean, you can pretty much call any class which converts one item to another a wrapper class. And I don't have to show you how to write classes that way because you must have been doing it if you are already writing codes in Java. So up to you to call whatever class you like as a wrapper class, because anything that wraps the original item with something else, it can be named as a wrapper classes. But I just showed you this example so you understand that Java has some of the naturally supported wrapper classes for primitive types. So for now that's all, and please keep watching next tutorials to learn about other type of classes. Thank you for your time, and please don't forget to subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. See you.